Welcome to our Better Data-Driven Charities video guide series. In this video, we will guide you on how to import data via the Volunteer Management Data template and how to carry out data analytics on the Microsoft Power BI dashboard. Before you begin, ensure that your PC already has Microsoft Excel and Power BI installed. You should also download the Volunteer Management package from the Tech and Go website. The link to the website is in the description box below. From the Volunteer Management package, open the Volunteer Data Template Excel file. Once opened, you may be prompted with a security warning. Click on the Enable Content button to proceed. The file has multiple tabs. The first tab contains all the instructions needed for you to import your data into the data templates. In the Getting Started section, it guides you on how you should format and store your data files. In the Data Preparation section, there is a step-by-step guide on how you can import and validate data, as well as how to copy the file path to Power BI. Last but not least, the Data Refresh section guides you on how to add new data to the existing data template. When you scroll down to the bottom of this tab, you will be able to see the Data Dictionary for the Volunteer Management dashboard. This dictionary lists the data items that are required for the dashboard to generate the intended charts and graphs. It also indicates other useful information on the data items like data description, mandatory or optional fields, and data format. Next, the orange tab in the data template is the Tips tab, where the FAQ section is. You may refer to this tab for useful tips on troubleshooting common issues. Finally, we are touching on the green tabs, which are our data tabs. These tabs are where you will need to import your data for the generation of the dashboard. Let's explain how these tabs work using the Opportunity tab. In all the data tabs, including the Opportunity tab, there are 4 buttons that perform different functions. The Import Multiple Data Files button imports more than one source file. This is especially useful when you wish to import data and files that span over several months or years in one shot. The Import Single Data File button imports just one data file, whereas the Validate Data button helps to validate the imported data to check for issues such as missing data, incorrect format, and more. Lastly, the Copy File Path button helps to copy the data template file location path so that you can easily paste it into Microsoft Power BI. For a quick demo, we will be clicking on the Import Single Data File button. The file selection window will appear, and we will proceed to locate and click on the data file. Once the data is imported, click on the Validate Data button. This button will validate and check for any issues among the data provided. If there is an issue with the data, cells will be highlighted in different colors to indicate the different types of issues. For this example, we have one cell highlighted in red and another in yellow. According to the table here, this means that we have one missing data and one duplicated row respectively. Let's proceed to our original data file which we have imported to check and rectify them. It is always recommended to rectify data from the source. As you can see from our data file, Opportunity ID 1 has missing data for Opportunity Target Volunteers. And there is a duplicate row of data for Opportunity ID 18. We can rectify them by inserting the correct information for Target Volunteer and deleting the duplicate row for 18. Do remember to save the data file after editing. Going back to our data template file, select all data and delete them before re-importing. Click on Import Single Data File button and select the data file which we have just updated. This time around, there are no issues with the data validation. Please do the same and import data for the rest of the data tabs. After you are done, save the data template file. Then click on Copy File Path. This file patch will let Microsoft Power BI know where the location of your data template file is. The final step will be to go back to the Volunteer Management package and double-click on the Volunteers Dashboard Power BI file. Paste the path that was copied from the data template file into Input Path and click on Load. To analyze and identify volunteer profiles, we can easily filter into different populations of the data. For example, click on Male Gender in the Volunteer Gender pie chart, and the entire dashboard will be filtered to display male volunteer data. You can press Ctrl and click on the Clear Filter button at the top right-hand corner to clear all filters. The charts and graphs generated in this volunteer management dashboard can help you identify volunteer patterns and preferences, which you may use to form your recruitment or retention strategies or optimize your volunteers' experience. For example, the volunteer count by residential location map can help you identify areas where most of your volunteers reside at. With this information, you may consider holding more activities in these hotspots to attract more volunteer signups. In addition, if you're keen to know what the volunteers' preferences are for certain areas, you may filter the entire dashboard by residential location using the Rectangle Select tool. If you're keen to gather insights on the volunteering opportunities and hours in your agency, you may refer to the Volunteer Opportunity Analysis section. For example, if you want to find out the least or most popular volunteering period for specific age groups, you can first filter by age group under the Volunteer Count by Age Group section. Then, referring back to the volunteering hours analysis chart, you see that volunteers between ages 30 to 39 tend to volunteer less during quarters 2 and 3. This information can guide you in managing the efforts and resources allocated to reach out to volunteers from different age groups during certain time periods. To understand more on how you can interpret each chart in the dashboard, click on the Chart Interpretation tab at the bottom. There is also a Tips tab where you can find answers for FAQs like how to change the chart type or how to refresh the data. Congratulations! You have successfully imported your volunteer data and published it into Microsoft Power BI. You may watch the other videos from this series to learn more about the dashboards for each use case.